by ChoiceCenter Leadership University is where emotional intelligence meets extraordinary results. Founded in 1998 in Las Vegas, ChoiceCenter has empowered thousands of people around the world to unlock their full potential through experiential trainings and coaching. Here on EQU, we dive into the inspiring stories and transformative journeys from both famous faces and everyday heroes. Graduates who have harnessed emotional intelligence to have transformed their lives in ways that are nothing short of remarkable. From skyrocketing their careers to deepening relationships, balancing creative pursuits with focusing on health, finances, and family. Our guests share the real-world impact of EQ on living a life you author and love. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and equipped with insights that can serve you to create radical results in your own life. If you're ready to dream, declare, and deliver, let EQU show you what's possible.
Welcome back to EQU. Just a quick reminder to please follow, subscribe, rate, and share this episode. And you'll want to. Why? Because today's guest is unlike any we've interviewed on EQU before. She doesn't just speak the language of emotional intelligence, she sculpts it.
Yes. Dorit Schwartz is our first artist to be featured on this podcast. And once you see her work, you're going to understand exactly why. She's a visionary sculptor who fuses crystals, reclaimed wood, and spiritual energy into museum-quality pieces designed to awaken something within you. Her signature collection, The Light Within, invites viewers to reconnect with the divine in nature and in themselves. Her big break came when the Wynn Resort selected her as the artist in residence at their exclusive Encore store. One weekend, a global tycoon walked in and purchased 2 of her sculptures on the spot, pieces that now reside in Zurich and London. That moment catapulted her into the international art scene.
Since then, Dorit's work has been featured in private collections around the world, from California to Paris, Los Angeles to New York. Locally, her sculptures have been exhibited at the Southern Nevada Museum of Fine Art and the Art 360 exhibit inside Las Vegas City Hall. Whether placed in a gallery or a private sanctuary, her creations are more than decor. They're vessels of energy, presence, and purpose.
While Dorit is renowned as an artist, she is so much more. She's a devoted wife and mother, and a woman who believes that every home should be a sacred space that tells your story. And of course, she's here with us today because she's a proud graduate of ChoiceCenter's LV103 EQ leadership training from way back 15 years ago in 2010.
Whether you're an artist, a designer, or someone searching for more meaning in the spaces around you, get ready. This conversation is going to expand your definition of art, energy, and emotional intelligence. Please welcome to EQU the extraordinary, radiant, and soulful sculptor, Dorit Schwartz.
Thank you. What an honor and a pleasure to be here. My goodness, I cannot believe 15 years have passed. It feels like yesterday.
So glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
So take us back to the beginning. Where did you grow up, and at what age did you discover your love for creating art?
I discovered the love of art in a very young age, in elementary school. And I found myself in an amazing school in Israel when I was 15. It's called Vitzo. And at age 17 came to the States and just went to a regular high school, Perfect High in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Did not incorporate art at that time. I was kind of busy immersing myself in the American dream of just being a teenager. I came by myself to my brother, moved to another school in the Valley, Birmingham High, where I took some jewelry classes. And it's interesting that after so many years, I would say more than 40 years, jewelry came back into my life. I'm actually wearing one of my jewelry pieces that I created with Shani, my daughter. I think that the art itself, creating with my hand, started after I had my children. I decided that I need to bring the creative part of me. And that was about age of 33. I dived into sculpting with clay after I moved to Vegas, and then moved in with marble, and then to wood and crystal.
Listen, you said you came to the U.S. by yourself. What had you leave Israel?
My brother came to the U.S. first, and I followed him. And then my family came a year later. At age 17, I started my journey here in the U.S.
And what was the motivator for wanting to come to the U.S.?
It's the American dream that everyone have, you know? It was very exciting. Though it was very difficult at age 17. You were about to go to the army and just say goodbye to all of your friends and come to the U.S. It was great. And then I met my husband at Fairfax High. So we've been together for almost 45 years.
What brought you to Las Vegas?
Ronnie, my husband, opened a telecommunication company in LA, in California. So he always developed here in Las Vegas, and we decided to start new. And it was not an easy start, but Las Vegas has been amazing to us.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I love this city.
I'm with you. Tell us what got you to ChoiceCenter in 2010.
A dear friend of mine, Tanya, Amit, Toby, asked me a question, a very simple question. What is missing in your life? Don't you want more? Don't you want something else, something greater? And I, of course, resisted. No, life is good. Everything is wonderful. But one more, Dorit. I said, okay, Tanya, I trust you. I'm coming in. And wow, what an impact. I think that was a stepping stone to a new Dorit. No question about it. The world opened up. Trusting Tanya was the bestest gift of my life.
How did the trainings impact your art, of course, and your career?
I would say the commitment to doing something different and follow through. And of course, having your coach at ChoiceCenter that is with you for a few months and pushes you and asking you questions, that kind of motivates you and pushes you with no excuses. You need to do it. And that kind of forced me to create my website. And then just looking back what happened in 15 years, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with me.
we love that.
Yeah, I have to remind myself every once in a while. Take a moment, step back, and look what you created.
Yeah, you said that the trainings created a new Dorit. So what was new about Dorit that opened up through the training?
Yeah, understanding my strength, understanding my capability, that nothing will stand on my way. I'm a free spirit. I always was, but with a little holding back. And I became a very, I would say, elegant woman fighter. And I get everything I want.
Yes.
Because it's done in a very, very feminine way, in a very charming way.
Well, and that's the purpose of a coach, right? So you had coaches, you had friends around you, and that's the magic of being on a leadership team. We're all cheering each other on, and the success levels rise pretty quickly. How did the trainings impact your art and from there your career?
I think by not having fears and having an idea that comes to you. I always say when an idea comes to you, it needs to manifest through you. So having an idea, just not allowing anything to stop and just to go full force. And that was my mission. I mean, I called myself always an artist, but there's one thing being an artist and there's one thing to make it your profession and be able to sell. That was a big deal. Taking myself to the next step without boundaries, just going full force.
So I'm hearing freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom to express. That's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a little bit of the arc of your development as an artist? So you said you first started doing some art in Israel before you left. So pencils, paint, what were you doing?
So in Israel, at a school called Vitzo, I was doing graphics and art in different forms. It was bringing pieces of wood from the backyard and creating chairs and tables in my room at age 15. And things just develop. I attended a school in LA with clay, and I worked with live models. That was a little different for me because they were all naked. So challenging, but it was great. I made some great pieces. Actually lost a lot of them in the LA earthquake. So I have only a few left. And when I came to Vegas, I was introduced to an amazing teacher, Sharon Ginsberg. and I started working with marble. And that was a different experience. As you work with clay, you add material. And when you're working with marble, you chisel. It's like chiseling layers of onions. And you are afraid to chisel, as when you break it, what happens? You make lemonade out of lemon. So that was very challenging. I was very fearful. And I was working very slowly until I kind of got angry, and I said, you know what? I need to get a power tool. Just chisel and a hammer is not good for me. So I got those power tools. It makes a lot of noise. And then I had a show in San Diego where I placed one of my small crystals on top of one of my marble pieces. And one of the ladies says, do you understand the energy of the crystal? I said, no, I just think it's a very sweet little guy there. She said, no, I think you are on for something very special. So I started studying and picking up more crystals, and I kept putting them on my marble work. And on my third weekend retreat in Mount Charleston, I found a piece of wood. And I thought, what an amazing idea it will be to take a beautiful form from nature and take another element from nature and try to combine them. So I left the wood in its own natural form and start carving the wood. And I have a beautiful sculpture they call Unison, that two are kind of merging together as one. Then I thought to myself, what a great idea will be if I will start working with crystal and start adding crystal to those elements. Those are just amazing material. It's been here for thousands of years, ancient time. Why don't we put them together? So I start experimenting and start getting woods that have some void in them in order to put the crystal in them. As you could see in the pieces just behind me, is just an open space with a crystal in the middle. And then that's led me to add a light, because when you add the light, this whole thing illuminates, and you could see the form on the wall, the shadow created another form. So the light came in, and that brought another element to the sculpture. And bringing those two elements together from nature and having the ability to put in somebody's home, people have been collecting crystal forever, but they were just plopping them into their home, and now they're a piece of art. And I'm proud to say that I invented it. And people ask me, you're not worried that people will copy you? I said, you know what? I'm honored that I invented something that other people would like to create and do something similar. So I'm honored. Yes, could be that there are more out there, and good for them. So this is how the light within was created.
Wow. Okay. So you're on a weekend retreat with ChoiceCenter and you see a piece of wood, and 15 years later, we're looking at what we see behind you. That's pretty incredible.
And those are just the smaller pieces. There are pieces that go up to 7 and 8 feet. They are big. They're giant. In one of my pieces, my trip to Thailand, I have a piece that was laying on the floor, and I said, pick it up for me. I want to see what this thing looked like. And a few months later, it made it to the studio here in Las Vegas. And it was sitting here for a few years until the piece was completed. And it's called Constellation.
That's amazing.
It's in Park City, Utah, in the gallery, Guyon, Maine. Actually, you could find it on my website. It's a large piece.
And the light within, how did that name come about for you?
From nature. And as I say, when idea come to you, you need to manifest. And when this name came in, I said, that's it. That will be the name. It's the light within us that shows up in our life. And the energy of the crystal is something incredible. You could feel it, actually. You could feel the energy when you walk into the studio. And when you walk into the house, you feel the calmness. You feel the peacefulness. You just want to hang out. You feel relaxed.
It's very calming.
Connected.
Yes,
Very
calming
connected.
connection. Yes, it's such a beautiful room, the energy there. So for those that aren't familiar, Dorit, explain what you can about the meaning and the power that the crystals hold. Many people, I know it's a common belief, that they are a source of very unique energies and have healing properties and even can support emotional balance.
Absolutely. It can help definitely with your emotions. You have the different one that can balance your chakras. So different crystal on your chakras can balance them. There are different crystal that you put by your bedside that will help you enhance your sleep, be able to open your pineal gland. I actually put them in my water. It actually elevates the water. with great and amazing energy. So each one of my water vessel have quartz crystals and amethyst. So those frequencies are so important for our everyday life to allow us to ground ourselves and be in peace and connect to Mother Nature. It's endless. Of each crystal have its own properties. It's a whole book that we can talk about what each crystal can enhance.
Yeah, there's a lot that's been published. There's a lot that we can see and read now.
Yes, correct.
And are different crystals that have these different properties, are they found in different parts of the world?
Yes. So I attend a show in Tucson, Arizona, where I go every year, where I think it's the largest show in the world. People come from all over the world to shop, and material from Argentina, from Brazil, from India, from Africa, from Morocco, from Egypt, from every part of the world, from Arkansas, from Mexico. So from all over the world, a crystal brought in. I do my shopping for the year, fill up my car with hundreds of kilos, and drive back home.
How do you select a crystal? Are there healing properties that you're drawn to? Is it about colors? Is it about a shape?
It's more about the color. When you have rocks that are not transparent, they do not shine. So I try to have pieces, and quartz crystal is one of my favorite, that will shine through with the LED light. So those will be my favorite, the quartz crystal. But I use colorful stone as well, amethyst, azurite, so different one from different parts of the world. But quartz crystal, I would say, is my favorite. And I would say the top one is the Lemurian quartz crystal from Uruguay. That would be my favorite. Inside of it, the twin quartz in there is just magical.
Let's talk about the creation process, because most people have never seen this happen. Is there a moment of intuition from you on your creativity in the process with these sculptures?
I think just entering to the studio and looking at hundreds of crystals and different pieces of woods that are just sitting there, and some of them sitting there for years. And I have to tell you that sometimes it will take minutes and a piece comes together instantly. Everything aligned, everything just works perfectly. And at some points things don't. And another crystal comes in, and another crystal comes in, and another carving into the wood, and nothing works. But most time it's just very harmonious. And I have an amazing assistant. I've been working with him for about 10 years. I have to share his story. He's a veteran of 25 years. He came to me totally broken. The amount of medication that he was on is just unheard of. He was limping, broken. And what happened to him after a few years? For him coming working with me, it's his Zen time. It's not work for him. And you will not recognize this individual today. He's incredible. No medication whatsoever. He's strong like a beast. He healed just by working and being surrounded with serenity, positivity, and good energy. So working together, it's a blessing. We understand each other. We work in a very harmonious way, and it's pretty much a magical time in the studio, because sometimes we start very early in the morning, and before we know it, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and time stopped. Time disappeared.
That's amazing. We actually work with a charity that does art therapy for vets, and it's proven that art really can heal people.
Absolutely.
We'll introduce you to the founder. He's become a friend, he and his partner. They use art therapy to help these men and women that come back from the war so injured, and most of all PTSD, which is such a difficult thing.
It's exactly what happened to my assistant. 25 years in the Army, special ops. So you can imagine what he's seen, what he's done, and what it took to cure him in just pretty short period of time, I have to say.
This is fascinating because this was started by a soldier that was driving a Humvee, and they got bombed and people were killed next to him. He survived. But when he came home, Richard basically didn't leave his bedroom. He went home to mom and dad's house where he grew up outside of Nashville. And he just had no energy or desire or motivation to get up. He was just devastated. His very best friend was killed right next to him. So he spent a few months, and his mom brought home chalk and paper and said, honey, you've got to do something. And one thing led to another, and she encouraged him. He went to the Art Institute in Chicago, and then he started doing more and more, and he realized it healed him with the PTSD. and he began a company called Creative Vets. And many of our vets that come through ChoiceCenter and people we know, we send them there. So for you to have this singular story of your assistant and to tell about his healing, isn't it fantastic when people's energy come together and it's like evidence of what's working in the world?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You shared with us where you source your crystals. What about the wood? Where do you get the wood?
The wood come from Thailand and from Indonesia. And I had the privilege going there and picking the wood on my own. And it gets shipped to the studio here. Take a few months and it makes it here.
And what are you looking for? What kind of woods are you using? What makes a great piece of art?
I use a lot of teak root. You could see this one behind me. It's a root and it has some very special movement. I enjoyed seeing that movement. Or I have acacia wood, as you see here, that it's more of an open space. And the one next to it is rosewood, that it's endangered species from Indonesia. So basically those will be the most common. And then I have tamarind wood as well. I don't know if you're familiar. Tamarind is a fruit. You make tea out of it and the wood is just fascinating. Yes.
And so what do you look for and what is it like when you first get it? And then what's the process of how it becomes what we see?
The wood come as an open space. So I'm looking for the open space. So it's been sitting on the ground, being rotten. So there's a lot of cleaning to do, a lot of carving in to do. But we do want to keep the shape and the movement that Mother Nature created for us. So it's a lot of just cleaning up and smoothing it, and basically that's it. It was one of my pieces that I wish I could turn and show you. It was burl maple from Colorado. So it was the length of the trunk, I would say about 30 feet, and it was all rotten in the inside. And I had few slices of it, and it came to the studio, cleaned up, and then the crystal was placed right in the center. A lot of mites were there.
So you got to clean it up and then you start polishing and shaping.
Correct.
Yes. Wow.
How much of it comes just you're in the moment, you're in flow, and you just start moving things and get an idea? How much of it is just so spontaneous?
I would say a lot of it is spontaneous. You come to the studio, you look at a piece of wood and you're saying, you know what, that will be amazing. Or you have an idea that maybe those wood need to be stained. So I start staining them in different colors. Or maybe taking two pieces and just hanging them and have them elongated. So all of a sudden I have hanging pieces, not just standing on a pedestal. So the ideas just come being in the studio and working and just being creative.
They just come through you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
When chefs create a meal, they often say they're putting themselves on a plate. So how is your work similar? What of yourself is revealed in your sculptures?
I express myself through my art. I don't talk a lot, and Robin knows that, and you know that. So I express myself through my art. So to get you guys for me to be here was a challenge for Dorit.
It wasn't a challenge to ask you. We knew we wanted you on the podcast.
A stretch for me. I just got back from Peru just to connect again to Mother Nature and be in a peaceful, undisturbed space. And that was an incredible, incredible inspiration to come back to the studio and see what will come of it and what an inspiration will manifest from it.
What part of Peru?
We were in Cusco, and then from there we went up to the mountains to a shaman home. And we spent some time there.
I was in Peru with my mom and we went to Cusco. Extraordinary.
Yes.
Very high, like 13,000 feet or something.
Chewing on some cocoa leaf.
Yes, the tea, the cocoa leaf tea, for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, and did you go to Machu Picchu?
Yes, Machu Picchu was amazing. Yes, Machu Picchu was phenomenal. I didn't hike it. I took the bus.
That's okay. The train up there is lovely, right?
But connecting with the animals and the alpacas and just seeing nature untouched was magical.
Well, you've certainly created a beautiful way to bring Mother Nature indoors. I'm sitting here looking behind you, and each piece is so individual and so beautiful. Stunning, Dorit. And I'm reminiscing back to the beginning, and I wanted to ask you, way back, we were all together creating a fundraiser. We did work with St. Jude for some time for the legacy projects. And
Yes.
we all worked together. And I remember somehow didn't your husband have something to do with donating one of your pieces to be auctioned? I just remember there was a story about it.
Yeah, I donated one of my marble sculptures and somebody was bidding on the heart sculpture and Ronnie kept overbidding and he just decided that this heart not going to go anywhere. And he ended up owning that piece. So it's back home here with us. A beautiful heart marble sculpture. Yes, that was funny. Funny you remember that.
I remember it. I just didn't remember the specifics, and it went back home with you. Is exactly right.
Yeah, I think we bought it back for about $5,000.
That's so sweet, though.
Yes.
You get some major husband points for that.
Yes.
That's adorable. Wow.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yes.
Really is. An amazing giver.
Yeah, tell us about you being featured at the Wynn, their iconic home store. How did that come about and how did that change things for you?
I visited the home store in the Wynn and I wrote a beautiful email to the buyer. And I invited him to the gallery here in my home. And he replied back that he will be honored. He picked up some beautiful pieces that made it to the store. And one day, as Robin mentioned earlier, I was a featured artist. So I drove in Saturday morning all pumped up and ready to introduce myself to the clientele that will walk into the store. And as I walking in, the buyer have mentioned that there's a lady that is looking at one of my sculptures. I was very thrilled and very happy. My poster is out the door and the store is full of maybe 10, 15 pieces of my artwork. And a few minutes later, the husband shows up and he said that piece that she purchased is going to go to their home in Zurich. The husband came in and bought the largest piece there. And I was introduced to him, shook his hand, and it was one of the giant of the steel company, Mr. Mattel. And he brought this sculpture to his office in London. So that was kind of a stamp that put me on the map. And from there, pieces just flew all over the world, as the Wynn is one of my favorite hotel. And Corinne will vouch for that too. And people came to conferences with their private jet, and my pieces went with their private jet back home. So it was magical times. Truly was magical time at the Wynn.
I remember feeling connected to you. I would walk down the hall to lunch at Jardin, and I'd always pass the home store, and I'd see your stuff in the window, and I'd be like, oh, there's our Dorit. So Thank you, Wynn Las Vegas, for blowing up Dorit Schwartz.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
A great gift from the Wynn.
That's wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about where your art is showcased now.
My art showcase on Gaia in Maine, in Park City, Utah, in Laguna Niguel, in Palm Springs, in California. I have it in the showroom right here at the World Market Center at Area West. And of course, my gallery at home is open to everyone to come and visit. So I have an individual or designer that come to the studio and the showroom, and they love it. I love when clients come in to the studio and to the gallery and work with me together to create their art. Let them choose their crystal. Let them be involved. The stained color. This is magical. I love doing that.
So people can commission things from you?
Absolutely. They can commission things. They can use their input. If they want a different stain, if they want a different color crystal, they feel so connected as they are involved of creating that piece of art. And that's different. It's normally not done.
No, that's a gift that you give to people. And people get so excited with your pieces. That's a real gift that you give.
Thank you.
What's the process? How long does it take to make a typical sculpture?
Couple of months. Depending what is the condition and what is the shape of the wood and what's need to be done to it. But I would say a couple of months. I just created a chandelier out of a branch that was cast in steel, and crystal is just hanging off of it.
And where did that inspiration come from?
Making light that comes from above, not from the chandelier itself. And the crystal illuminates on the table or on the floor or whatever it kind of lands. So very different.
How do you light them?
So if you have a spotlight on the ceiling and the light is right underneath and all the crystal illuminate on the bottom. Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking you were plugging something in, but it's lighting from the top.
The light from above. Yes.
Wow. Are you still naming your collections?
I name the collection. I have the Light of Kabbalah because there is such an amazing energy with the 72 names of God. And it's a combination of a letter of 3 words, and each combination gives different energy. So I start doing the selenite crystal, as you see behind me, and I engrave the Hebrew letters of the combination that one wants. If it's love, it's inspiration, and whatever those 3 that one chooses, I have the ability to engrave those letters onto the selenite crystal. And it's pretty magnificent. And I actually done it in Japanese, and I wrote the letter love, and it's beautifully illuminated on the wall when the cast is on. So it's really cool.
And is that at your home?
Yes.
Do you ever make a piece and you intend that it's going to go out to the world, but then you just can't give it up?
You know, it was like that in the beginning, but no, I just make sure that my children get a good home.
Yes. That's beautiful.
I'm ready to let them go after they're grown up, after they've been cleansed and energized. They're ready to go home.
And it seems like your children have been growing up over the years, because I remember your sculptures being rather small and manageable. Right. And now we see them and they're, yes. So tell us about that. How did that evolve?
I don't know, slowly but surely, kind of getting out of my comfort zone, and let's create bigger and grander, and maybe it need to be in a lobby of a hotel. So no fear. Going bigger. I just need more space. Studio's getting smaller.
Wynn Resorts, if you're listening, now available in lobby sized.
That's yes.
Right. Other than the Wynn, is there any other of the hotels here in Las Vegas that present your work?
Yes. So I was at Delano for a few months. I had a phenomenal exhibition. I took the entire lobby, and the entire lobby was Dorit Schwartz sculptor. I had a beautiful interview there. It was amazing. It was really phenomenal. And the element of the Delanos are so earthy, are so red rock. So it really aligned up with my sculptures. So the entire hallway entering the hotel was a row of my sculptures. So it was pretty fascinating. It was amazing. And my sculpture will feature in the newly renovated, giant, most incredible suites at the Red Rock.
Oh, wow. That's good to hear. Right in the neighborhood.
Yes. So those suites are just extraordinary. I mean, I'm talking about a few thousand square feet overlooking the whole city. So I had the privilege of having them there. That was a big deal.
I'm fascinated by your evolution. Anybody that goes into sculpture, it's not usual, right? Most people are painting.
It's not, Corinne, and it's very difficult to sell, because statistically, I think 85% of people will have painting, and maybe 10%, 15% will have sculptures. So yes, it's not an easy sell. I kept myself to very high end, kept my prices high. And you know what? I didn't want it to be mass. I don't have the time. I'm still a mom. I'm still a grandma. I'm a wife and a daughter, and I needed to balance it. And balancing is very hard. Now it's very hard as well, because I can be a workaholic.
I'm sure you can get lost in your work.
Dorit, I've been in your home many, many times for holidays and gatherings and birthdays and grandchildren and celebrations of every kind. Girls' parties where we just danced the night away and had a good time. Each holiday or birthday, everything is kind of designed around a theme and the energy of who the people are. How does EQ show up intentionally in your design in your family?
Well, first of all, EQ really changed our family dynamic, as all our 3 children and my husband attended EQ. Really allow us to communicate and open up and talk to each other and not hold back. And I see it very nicely with the 3 children and how they communicate with each other and how they don't hold back, and making sure that they resolve the problem on their own, together, communicating and not holding back.
How has EQ influenced the dynamics in your family, like through your communication, through your interactions?
Definitely through EQ, I learn to communicate on a different level, not holding back, not holding grudges, saying what I feel and how I feel, and not holding in. I mean, holding in, and it's taking a toll on your health. So that was a very good lesson for me, just to share my feeling and not to hold grudges with anyone, and allowing to celebrate every day is just an amazing, beautiful day. So the EQ helped me really do that through the training.
Beautiful. Withholding is one of the major causes of health issues. It manifests in different ways. And one of the things I was thinking about when we were talking about the health aspects of the crystals and the different pieces you use, it's the opposite. It's the polar opposite. It enhances, it wraps itself around us. It's like the light, right? So there's a real dichotomy there. Your family, having went through all of the EQ trainings at ChoiceCenter.
It was not just my immediate family. It is my brother, my sister-in-law, my cousins, my nephews. It expanded to such a large circle. And I'm sure the influence of that large circle created in that community such a positive energy. So it's not just my immediate family. It's a giant circle of friends and family that benefited so much.
Well, I want to share with you one of the outflows of you sharing this was our friend Dina Steinberg. And she just gave me a gift in sharing with me the very first copy that came back. I think she calls it her artist's copy. So it's her own personal copy of her children's book that she has written, Yakmandu. And I told her, I believe it's destined to be the next Wizard of Oz. And we all saw the movie every holiday, and her book could definitely follow that path. It's a magnificent story set in what we would say is more modern times, and how the work of crystals, there's a stone in it, and it brings many countries together and beliefs. And I honestly think she is going to have a masterpiece there. It's beautiful. And the story is magnificent.
I agree. She's an amazing artist, and I wait to see the final product. Yes.
This book probably would not be in existence because it was in the training that she let herself just dream about it and work with it. And you know that she's got such an artist energy and spirit, like everything is creative about her. But think about it. You gave her this gift, and she's giving the world what I think is going to be a classic children's book for probably generations.
That's the gift of EQ. They keep going and keep giving one after the other. Absolutely.
Yeah, we give it to the people we love, and it's really a form of love because it gives people their freedom to be creative, to be expressive, to make choices that they were afraid to make. Like, it all comes in that picture of painting or art or creation, sculptures, crystals. It's a great metaphor.
It is. It truly is. Yes, I'm so happy for her. Yes.
For someone who's an artist considering the training, what would you say to them?
Just don't be afraid to step out of the box. We are so used to being in that box and so protected. It's just breaking those walls and breaking those barriers and discovering truly who you are, because we are so confined with our belief that was embedded since we were young, or whatever trauma and incident that we had. And we must let go of them in order to really, truly understand who we are and who we meant to be here in this lifetime.
Thank you.
To follow that, you've got 3 beautiful now adult children. Shani has a couple of children.
Yes.
And I just got the exciting privilege to spend some time with Yoni. How would you say the EQ has landed on, and what has it given differently to each one of your children? Neve, Shani,
and Yoni, yes. Shani was very reserved, I think, just like her mom, and it allowed her to be very opinionated. And she's tiny, and she's just a pistol, a very quiet one though, but she's a pistol. And I think that allowed her just to be able to express herself, and being a very strong girl, finding her passion in school, being a psychologist, as we call her. She's our family therapist. And with Yoni is just having his ability to express himself. He's an incredible artist, an incredible designer in his own way, not necessarily with his hand, but his mind, his ideas. And for Neve, understanding his amazing gift of working with the right and left brain, because he is brilliant. Yes, each one of them found their niche of what make them amazing. And that's what the EQ created for them.
That's beautiful. So we can't leave Ronnie out. So with all the influence of the whole family around him, what did it bring to him?
I think for him to see how the family transformed, I think it was the biggest gift. The ability to communicate patiently, the ability to see their growth and what they become, where they've been and what are they now. I think that was the biggest gift for him, to see the family living in a harmony of communication, of sitting and solving problem together as one unit. That was the gift that he received from the family attending. With him, personally, people have so much respect to this gentleman. It's insane. He doesn't speak much, but when he does, he has a lot to say. He's very intuitive, extremely intuitive, seeing things 10 years, 5 years ahead, able to analyze things in a very deep level. So I think for all of us to do the program, it was an amazing gift. And I'm sure automatically, being in that environment, Ronnie received so much. For
He's
sure.
a gift also. You are both a gift. Your family is a gift. Your family are
Thank
role
you.
models for the way to live,
you.
empowering, inspiring each other. The holidays, whatever holiday is up, your family is very inspiring and supportive of each other and beautiful, great role models.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and Dorit, as we start to wind down an episode, we like to ask our guests some EQ Quickfire questions. So are you ready to play our EQ Quickfire game?
Yes.
Great.
Sure.
Okay. Our first question. What's one word you hope people associate with your work?
Inspiration.
Love it. It's a great word. What about inspiration really comes to mind for you?
Just learn from other people, get inspired, don't be scared, and just move forward without fear, and make sure nothing holds you back, because it's okay to fail. I failed in few of my pieces, and it's okay. Let's go to the next one.
What's the piece you've created you had the most connection to?
There is the giant piece that I spoke earlier that I found in Thailand. That giant piece of wood with that void in the middle that sat here for years without knowing what to do with it and how to tackle it. Creating those drops of crystals, maybe about 30 of them, that are just lying up like a harp, and I named it Constellation. I would say that was one of my most vulnerable pieces and one of the most difficult pieces I worked on. That took a couple of years.
What's one truth about you, Dorit, that your art reveals?
Connection to Mother Gaia, connecting to Mother Earth.
How do you recharge your emotional and creative energy? What recharges you?
Being in nature, listening to classical music, and being quietly in my own space, undisturbed. That's what connects me and allows me to be balanced.
How many hours a week do you work on your sculptures?
About 30.
It's a lot. All these years, has it been that consistent?
Yes, full time.
That's
Totally full
wonderful.
time.
You truly are in your passion and your vision and your purpose, and you've brought it to life. It's alive all over the world in all the stories that you've shared with us today. That's what's so great. Your vision's alive and real and tangible. What's your EQ superpower, Dorit?
Connecting to my feminine self. Yeah. Connecting to my femininity.
And where can people find your work? How would they get a Dorit Schwartz sculpture?
Well, they can visit my website. They, if they are in the area of Las Vegas, they're welcome to call, send an email, and I'd be happy to welcome them for a beautiful cup of tea or a cup of coffee and share my process and my work with them.
I love your openness. You're a walking invitation, Dorit.
Always. Yes, my pleasure.
And do I recall this correctly that once I heard you invite people to go ahead and touch your work?
Yes, that's my whole purpose, of allowing people to touch and feel and connect to the crystal, touch the wood. So much energy. And we feel it's a just piece of wood, but it's far from it. There's a lot of energy and meaning from all of it. And next time when you guys come over, you will feel it. You will feel the serenity, the calmness, and the peacefulness that the crystal emit in the space.
Listening to you today, I can hear that connection is your true north. Connection is throughout your entire conversation, which connection is the entire energy of relationship. And so you're all about forging relationships in many ways. And now your art makes a lot of sense and kind of a different thought to me. It's all connection.
Yes, I think because so many of us through the year lost it. We are so disconnected from the way our ancestor used to live with everything, with water, with food. We are so disconnected. Wearing our plastic rubber shoes, we are disconnected totally. With our clothes that we are wearing, we are disconnected with our polyester clothes. We are definitely disconnected. And this is a very gradual growth for me. And every day is something new. Is drinking from a copper cup. It's to wear linen clothing and not polyester. So every day is a new challenge, a new growth for me.
Beautiful.
Another opportunity to connect to the earth.
Yes.
And like the true fabrics, the true elements.
Yes. It actually connect with your vibrations, as we all electric vibrations. And when we're wearing things, not allowing us to be in balance and to be in harmony. So when we are wearing polyesters, we are lowering our vibration. When we have the ability to put a crystal into our water, we are elevating the water molecules. So we are drinking live water. And I'm learning every day, something new.
Dorit, what's the secret to balancing your art with being the present and engaged wife and mom that you are?
I think walk in natures, and I do that with my dog. She's my fourth child. Her name is Luna. Just sitting underneath a tree, walking barefoot. Basically, that's it. Nature.
And puppies.
Yes. Yes.
And before we close out each episode, we ask our guests to offer our listeners an EQ stretch challenge that they can take on to expand themselves in between the episodes, something that stretches them emotionally, spiritually, relationally. And so if you were to offer listeners an EQ stretch challenge, Dorit, what would you offer them?
I will offer something quite simple that we can all do, is to take 10 to 15 minutes a day. Just step outside and walk barefoot on earth. Whether it's grass or soil, just feel the texture, breathe the air, talk to the trees, touch the trees, be a tree hugger. So 10 minutes a day, that shouldn't be too difficult. And just hold on to that few minutes of silence that we all forget to do. We are so busy with our social media and just busy with life, and we are in crazy time. And that is so important, to take that 10 minutes of silence. And the benefit, if one will look into it, the benefit is just so powerful. It reduces stress and anxiety. It boosts the mood and the energy. And it actually strengthens your immune system so much just by walking barefoot and connecting. So what about looking at that giant tree? That roots are going all through, and those roots are connecting with one another. And it's increase your circulation and your balance, and maybe a little bit of meditation to enhance your spiritual world and connection.
Beautiful.
Excellent stretch. Excellent stretch.
Right,
And
10, 15 minutes a day would not hurt anyone.
try them for 7 days, see what it's like, what you experience.
Exactly.
Yes. Bring out that artist connecting to nature in
Love
you.
to hear the transformation that people get by doing that.
We'll ask them to bring it in, bring a comment in.
And then we ask ourselves why we feel so good touching our pets. Because our pets are grounded. They're walking barefoot. They're full of energy. And we feel that. That's why we enjoy touching them so much, because they are walking barefoot all day long.
They're grounded.
They're grounded.
Never thought of that. I have never thought of that. Wow.
That's why I feel so calm.
Beautiful. I've never heard it before.
Good,
And
good.
we share Boo Boo, and Malibu is our puppy, and we share him. He mostly sleeps at my house, but he's at work with Corrine today. And he's just a love bug. Like, he'll just hug everybody.
Yes.
And you're right. He grounds us.
Yes.
Always in a good mood.
Always in a good mood. I know.
Always.
Nothing but love.
Wagging the tail. Yes.
Yeah. He never has a bad day.
I want to say to Dorit, to you, for many, many, many years. We traveled together through the years of life and the friendships and all of the people that we met. And you brought me into your community, and I have my Jewish mother, but I never was really exposed to all of that. And you taught me so much about my heritage, just being at the dinners and being with your family. And everybody was always so willing and so generous to teach me the very important basic things. And sitting here and listening to you today and watching you, it is like you're an angel in our lives. And that's who you are in the community that we cross our paths in. You're so loved and you're so revered, and everyone loves your art, and you're this consummate, beautiful mom, sister, sister-in-law, wife, grandma. You've got it all going on. And I just want to tell you, you are one of the greatest blessings to ever walk into my life. And I have missed you in this last crazy chapter when we weren't doing all of our group things together. But I'm glad to be in forward and to have you back with us. I can't wait for you to come back into the training room with us.
Thank you. It's my honor and pleasure to be part of the EQ.
Nice.
Life-changing experience.
What's the next big risk you're going to take in any way? Next big risk.
My next big risk will be to challenge myself to work with ceramic. We will be spending half of our time in Los Angeles with our children and grandkids. And Dorit is thinking, how will I be creative as I will not do my art there, my sculpting? So how Dorit will keep busy and what will I do? That will be a whole new chapter of learning how to do ceramic and how to create something very different than what I'm doing right now. So that will be a challenge that I will cross, and it will be just phenomenal.
Yes, it will. What a great stretch you're giving yourself. And thank you.
It will be a very big stretch.
Yeah. We thank you for reminding us that art isn't just what we see, it's what we feel, what we remember, and how we connect to nature and also to each other. It just invites conversation. So thank you so much for being with us and being such an inspiration. And we look forward to coming and seeing your latest gallery and really checking out this new iteration of your work.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to hosting you both.
Thank you. We'll be
Thanks.
calling you for another episode.
I'm waiting.
we love that.
Yeah. New episodes of EQU release every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, and ChoiceCenter.com. See you next week.